When my daughter excluded me from our family trip, I discovered an incredible life-changing truth. Jack had always prided himself on being the family guy. He was the one at the mechanic shop, grease under his nails from dawn till dusk, only to rush home to see Lily play in her little league games, cheering louder than any other parent. But when Lily came to him with the news that she was inviting her friends on their annual family trip, it felt like a punch to the gut. The words hung in the air, thick and stinging, while the warmth of summer faded in an instant. He couldn't shake the feeling that somewhere along the way, he had lost her, stood in the old garage, filled with the nostalgic scent of motor oil and memories. Dust swirled in the beams of sunlight, peeking through the cracked window. Memories crystallized in time. Jack recalled the fishing trips, late-night talks about school dances, and lessons about being true to oneself. Each moment, painstakingly crafted, felt like wisps of smoke slipping through his fingers. He could feel his heart, tight in his chest, with every recollection of laughter shared. But now, it seemed that those moments had diminished to little more than footnotes in his daughter's evolving life. "Maybe I'm not important anymore," he murmured to the shadows around him, his words cloaked in desperate vulnerability. The familiar weight of loneliness wrapped around him like a heavy blanket, stifling and suffocating. Each glance at the dusty tools reminded him of things left unsaid, connections fading, and a bond that seemed to dissolve under the pressure of adolescence, of her growing independence. Before he could spiral further, Jack decided to channel his heartache into something productive. In the days that followed, he began volunteering at the local community center, a colorful hub bustling with laughter and stories of struggle. There, he met a group of veterans who had long battled their own forms of exclusion. Over steaming cups of coffee, they shared their lives, their vulnerabilities echoing Jack's. They laughed over burnt meals and swapped tales of small victories. It was eye-opening. Jack joined their efforts to create scholarships and mentorship programs for underprivileged kids, realizing he could impact more than just his own family. Every time a child's face lit up with excitement, Jack felt a spark of redemption ignite within him. He was reminded of the real essence of family: community, support, and understanding, transcending personal heartache. Then, just as he was beginning to fill the void left by Lily's rejection, his phone buzzed on the cluttered workbench. It was her. His heart raced. "Dad, I'm sorry," she said, her voice tremulous with emotion. She revealed doubts about herself, struggling to step into adulthood, feeling guilty for pushing him away. That small admission cut through the fog of hurt, reigniting the hope Jack feared he had lost. "Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen." Now let's continue. With renewed determination, Jack worked toward the unveiling of their community project, understanding that healing would take bridging the gap that had grown between him and Lily. As the two prepared to step into the spotlight together, emotions simmered in the air. They were on the brink of a pivotal moment, a reunion filled with promise, yet still thick with hesitation. Jack questioned whether they could navigate this painful chapter together. Would they find forgiveness and connection? Or would the distance yawn wider, leaving them both yearning for the family they used to be? The day of the unveiling arrived, sunny and vibrant, with a gentle breeze lifting the tension that hung in the air. Jack stood at the community center, surrounded by colorful balloons and the eager faces of children. It felt surreal to be so close to a day that could turn everything around for him and Lily. Yet as he adjusted the microphone, his palms felt moist with anxiety. Lily had promised to be there. She had said they would face this together. But the minute she stepped through the door, Jack's heart raced. She looked so different, older but still his little girl. Her hair was pulled back in a neat ponytail, and she wore the confidence he'd seen peeking through their last conversation, but there was a hint of trepidation in her eyes. "Are you okay?" Jack asked, softly as he stepped closer. The cacophony of laughter and chatter faded from his ears. Just nervous, she admitted, biting her lip. He nodded, feeling echoes of his own fears mirrored in her expression. Me too. But we've got this. She smiled faintly, though it didn't reach her eyes. They stood together, surrounded by an audience eager to witness what they had worked hard to create. Jack took a deep breath, suddenly aware of the tremble in his voice as he began speaking about the scholarship program. He painted a picture of dreams, futures, and possibilities. But beneath the words flowed his longing to reconnect with Lily, to bridge the chasm time and uncertainty had carved between them. While Jack spoke, he stole glances at Lily. There was something vulnerable about her, a sense of longing she seemed to keep buried. He felt a pang of empathy. The world of adolescence was puzzling, and it was clear that she was still navigating its stormy waters. As he concluded, the crowd erupted in applause. A wave of relief washed over him, but he could sense that the momentary joy couldn't erase their complicated emotions. Jack turned and saw her eyes glistening, caught in a battle between pride and sadness. Lily, he began, once the noise quieted down. I want to introduce someone important. A guiding force behind this program. Stepping aside, he gestured toward her as if giving her permission to join him. This is my daughter, and she's just as vital to this project. She's going to help us touch lives. As she walked up, a ripple of surprise and admiration spread through the audience. Jack watched as she grasped the microphone, her lips trembling before she began to speak. I'm honored to be part of this. Dad really inspired me. I hope to show kids that they matter. Her voice was wavering but strong, and he could see the spark of bravery flicker to life within her. His heart surged with pride, but it was tinged with the pain of their past separation. He could finally sense her rebuilding her own walls, piece by piece. She was extending her hand again, reaching for connection. After her speech, the applause filled the room once more, and Jack moved closer, wrapping an arm around her shoulders. The moment was electric, filled with the hope of what was to come. See? You did it, he whispered, and she leaned against him, a shared warmth blooming between them. Yet, as they participated in the event that followed, Jack couldn't shake the feeling that they had only scratched the surface. The event came to a close, and with the buzz of excitement still in the air, the crowd slowly began to disperse. Jack turned to Lily, his heart pounding in anticipation of the next conversation. Can we talk? Just us? She nodded, her eyes revealing clouds of uncertainty once more. Yeah. They stepped outside, where the warm air felt lighter. As they found a quiet bench away from the fading laughter, Jack took a risk, opening his soul to her. I've missed you more than I can say. Can we work on this together? I want to know what's going on in your heart. Lily looked away, searching the ground, deep in thought. Jack held his breath, uncertain about her response. What would she say? Would she reveal her real feelings? That question hung desperately in the air, leaving him anxiously waiting for her answer. Lily fidgeted with her fingers, her gaze still fixed on the ground. Jack could feel the weight of her silence pressing around them like a thick fog. He waited, heart racing, hoping she might break it and share the thoughts that danced behind her eyes. Dad, it's just... I don't know how to start, she finally mumbled, her voice barely rising above the gentle rustle of leaves. He felt a pang of tenderness for his daughter, still so young yet carrying such heavy emotions. Just start anywhere, sweetheart, he encouraged softly, hoping to ease her burden. I'm here. She took a breath, a small movement that seemed like both a release and a struggle. I've been feeling lost. It's like all this pressure to be perfect is pulling me under. Jack's chest tightened. You don't have to be perfect, Lily. You just have to be you. Her eyes finally met his, filled with a mix of fear and hope. But what if me isn't enough? What if I fail? Jack swallowed hard. His heart ached for her, knowing all too well the weight of those feelings. We all fail sometimes. But that's part of growing up, right? You won't be alone in that. Not anymore. As they sat in the fading sunlight, he could see the walls she had built over the years begin to crack. I just wanted to make you proud, she whispered, tears brimming in her eyes. Jack's heart broke open at her confession, the truth hitting him like a tidal wave. Lily, you've already made me proud. Just by being your honest self. Catching the right moments isn't about making someone proud, it's about being real. The moment hung thickly between them. Every unsaid word felt like a lifeline they were both yearning to grasp. I have this trip coming up with my friends, and I was scared to tell you because I thought you'd be disappointed. Her voice quivered, revealing the cracks of doubt and worry that marred her spirit. Why would I be disappointed? Jack asked, feeling a rush of protective love. I want you to have experiences, to build friendships. A small spark ignited in her eyes. You really mean that? It's just. I thought you'd want us to do everything together. He sighed, wanting to reach through the years of misunderstandings that had built a wall between them. I do want us to do things together. But this is your life too. You deserve to live it, to make your own memories. The silence that followed felt warmer, softer. For the first time, Jack saw hope blossoming in her expression. Maybe I could just share those memories with you? She offered, a tentative light breaking through her hesitation. That would mean the world to me. Jack smiled, his heart swelling with gratitude at the thought of a new beginning. We can work on this together, Lioness. Lily chuckled, using the childhood nickname he had given her, which seemed to release some of the heaviness lingering in the air. But as joy mingled with uncertainty, he couldn't shake the feeling that a bigger conversation loomed just beyond this moment. Can I talk to you about something else? She said, her voice growing serious again. Of course, he replied, a sense of anticipation igniting within him. What if there are things I've kept hidden from you, secrets from the past? Jack stiffened slightly, the world around them fading as doubt clutched at his heart. What could she possibly mean? As her words hung heavily in the air, the sense that their tentative bond was about to stretch even further sent a shiver down his spine, his mind racing with worry and hope. What could be waiting for him behind her walls? Jack's breath hitched. Secrets? The word echoed in his mind, painting images of hidden currents swirling beneath the surface of their relationship. Suddenly, the serenity of the moment felt precarious, like a tightrope stretched over an abyss. What do you mean, Lily? He asked, his voice steady but filled with yearning. She shifted nervously, her fingers now tangled in the fabric of her shirt. It's not easy to talk about. I mean, I've felt like I had to carry certain things on my own. Her eyes darted away, like she feared what he might think or feel. Whatever it is, you can tell me, Jack urged, leaning closer, his heart pounding. I promise I won't judge. Lily took a deep breath, her determination flickering. There have been times when I didn't feel like I belonged in this family. When it felt like I was just an outsider. Jack's heart sank. He couldn't believe those words were coming from her. He opened his mouth, but the response got stuck in his throat. Lily, that's not true. You've always belonged here, with me. Her gaze fell, and he could see the truth of her struggle reflected in her gaze. But I didn't feel it. There were moments when I thought maybe it would be easier if I didn't exist. The words struck him like a punch to the gut. He wanted to pull her into his arms, to shield her from any hurt she'd ever felt. No, sweetheart. You are valuable. Your existence, your very being, it's a part of what makes this family whole. Tears shimmered in her eyes, and Jack felt a fierce protectiveness rise within him. You didn't have to face this alone. I would have done anything to help you. Why didn't you come to me? I didn't want to burden you, she whispered, the weight of vulnerability pressing down heavily between them. I thought that maybe if I kept it inside, it would go away. Jack's heart ached at her words. The thought of her suffering alone made every fiber of his being tremble. You're never a burden, Lily. You can tell me anything. Please. Lily wiped her eyes, her resolve appearing to strengthen. I worried about what I might say or how you might react. Sometimes, I felt like I didn't know how to bridge the gap between us. We're braver together, remember? You don't have to hide, he said, feeling urgency surge within him. Whatever you've kept hidden, I want to hear it. And I promise you, the connection we have is stronger than any secret. She looked at him then, searching for something in his eyes. What if this leads to more things being said, things you weren't ready to hear? Jack took her hands, squeezing them softly. I want to know everything. Even if it's tough. We can face whatever comes, one step at a time. Lily nodded slowly, the moment feeling fragile yet charged with possibility. Okay, but promise you won't be disappointed. Jack felt the weight of her fears. I promise, he said sincerely, I will always support you. As the shadows of twilight stretched around them, Jack sensed their world teetering on the edge of a revelation. The walls that had kept them apart were ready to fall, and with that, the heaviness of unsaid truths began to shift, unveiling a bond they had never imagined. All right, Lily said, her voice steadier now. Then, there's something about my trip I need you to know. His pulse quickened, anticipation swirling within him. What was she about to reveal? What could change between them in this single moment? The next few words could redefine them both. Lily took a deep breath, gathering the courage that had wavered throughout their conversation. Jack felt the air thicken around them, as if the world paused just for this moment, the kind of pause that drew forth the secrets you held tight in your heart. While I was away, she began, her voice wavering slightly, I found things out about myself, new sides I never really explored before. Jack's brow knitted in confusion. What do you mean? Like hobbies or interests? No, she whispered, a fragile fear surfacing in her eyes. It was deeper than that. I met someone there, someone who opened my eyes to things I didn't even know I was missing. Each word felt heavy, laden with implications. His mind raced ahead, trying to grasp the meaning of her cryptic sentences. A friend? He asked, straining for clarity. Her shake of the head spoke louder than any words. No, Jack, it's more complicated. We connected in a way that made me realize how much I had been holding back from you for so long. Jack's heart stuttered, a mix of anxiety and curiosity swirling. What do you mean more complicated? You're not. No. She interrupted, her voice rising. I'm not in a romantic relationship with them. It's not that. I felt seen, like they understood me in ways I didn't know I craved. He exhaled. Okay. But I wish you could have felt that way with me. Why didn't you say something? I wanted to know the real you, Lily. I know, she said, tears escaping as her breath quickened. And that's why I feel so torn. I've always been scared to show my true self because I thought it would push you away. But now I see how wrong that was. I don't want to be afraid anymore. Jack's gaze softened. What changed? It sounds like this trip was more than just a getaway. Lily nodded, her hands trembling within his grasp. I went to that retreat looking for clarity, but I found more than I anticipated. I realized part of my journey is understanding my identity, independent of what our family expects. Her revelation hung between them, and Jack felt a surge of protectiveness but also admiration for her bravery. I wish you would have shared this sooner. You don't have to take this journey alone. I should have, she agreed, her tone matching his yearning. But I always feared it would change things, push you away. I thought, if I just kept things bottled up, we would be fine. Jack released her hands, the ache in his heart palpable. But we won't be fine, Lily, if you keep hiding. I want to know you, every part of you, even the messy bits. The silence thickened again, the depth of the moment binding them closer while the unknown still loomed. So, what do we do now? Lily blinked rapidly, her expression torn with both hope and uncertainty. We explore this together. I want to start being completely honest about who I am. I want us to really connect. His heart soared at her words, igniting the embers of a forgotten intimacy. The thought of unveiling layers of his own life alongside her filled him with purpose. But what if we discover things we don't like? He asked, vulnerability creeping into his voice. She reached out, cupping his face in her hands, her gaze fierce and resolute. That's okay. Because we can handle it together. It's about being brave and loving each other through whatever comes next. As the weight of unspoken fears began to melt between them, an exhilarating thrill coursed through his veins. They were standing at the edge of an enormous chasm, hand in hand, ready to leap into the uncertainty that awaited. What if this changes everything? Jack asked. Then we'll create something new, Lily replied, a determined spark lighting in her eyes, the shadows of their previous secrets beginning to fade. And I'll also tell you about the biggest truth I discovered during my trip. Jack held his breath, his heart racing with both fear and anticipation. What could the truth possibly be? How would it affect them both? Lily drew a deep breath, her eyes shimmering with unshed tears as she braced herself for the next revelation. Jack could see the weight of the moment pressing down on her, yet he felt a potent mix of eagerness and anxiety ignite within him. Okay, she said finally, her voice steadying. The biggest truth I discovered during my trip, it's about my past, my relationship with my family, especially my parents. Jack leaned in, every second feeling like a pulse racing towards something monumental. Her words trembled in the air. I've always tried to please them, to fit into the mold they created for me. I lived my life based on their expectations, thinking it was the only way to earn their love. His heart twisted. He had always sensed her struggle to meet those expectations, but hearing it out loud made it ache. You didn't do anything wrong, Lily. You were just trying to be who they wanted you to be. She shook her head, tears spilling free. But I lost myself in that. I didn't even realize how much until I was at the retreat, surrounded by people who encouraged me to reflect. I thought maybe if I let go of those shackles, I'd find who I really am. Jack reached for her hands, feeling the warmth of her skin against his, anchoring them both in the storm of emotions. And what did you find? Her eyes met his, fierce yet vulnerable. I found that I'm more than what they wanted. I like different things, I have different dreams that they never validated. I've always been scared to chase them because I feared their disapproval. He could feel the walls between them crumbling, the comfort of her presence reshaping into a new foundation built on honesty. And you're ready to be that person now? I want to be. I need to be, she whispered, determination woven through her tears. But I'm terrified of what that might mean for us, for this Lily, Jack interrupted gently. I want you to be you more than anything. I'll support you no matter what. The silence hung heavy for a moment, then Lily nodded, her eyes blazing with gratitude. There's more. I also realized I've been so focused on what I thought I had to do that I neglected all the pieces of me that are still healing. Jack felt his pulse quicken. What do you mean? It's about my childhood. You never really knew me back then. The fears, the things that I buried deep. If I want to be open with you, I have to confront them first. He held her gaze, sensing the magnitude of what she was ready to unveil. Tell me, he urged softly. I had a very close bond with my grandmother, she was my safe place. But when she passed away, my world shattered. Instead of mourning her loss, I buried those feelings and hid behind smiles. I didn't let you in. The breath caught in his throat. He had seen glimpses of her pain but never understood its depth. You don't have to carry that alone anymore. We can face the memories together. Lily smiled through her tears, the bond between them strengthening. It feels scary saying this, opening myself up. But I know this is just the start. I want to explore my past, to heal. I want you by my side for that journey. Her words filled him with hope, yet a sliver of uncertainty remained. What if it gets messy? Lily squeezed his hand, warmth radiating between them. Then we clean it up together. It's part of being honest with ourselves. Jack nodded slowly, the fear in his chest mingling with excitement. They were embarking on something infinitely more rewarding than either had anticipated. "Lily," he said, nervous energy crackling in the air, "what's the first step?" She paused, her expression shifting between resolve and doubt. "Talking about my grandmother, revealing all the life lessons she taught me and how they've shaped who I am today." As she mentioned her grandmother, a familiar sensation squeezed at Jack's heart. A part of him felt ready to dive into that painful past with her. Yet another part hesitated, each memory echoed with loss and vulnerability. "Then let us do it," he said, his words a promise. "I'll be there every step of the way." As Lily began to share her stories, he realized just how deep their roots ran. The truth was unfolding, and with each story, he sensed the potential for transformation. But as the emotional currents wrapped around them, Jack couldn't shake off an unsettling question: what if confronting the past opened doors neither of them were prepared for? Lily took a deep breath, her voice trembling slightly as she began. "My grandmother, she had this way of making everything feel okay. When I was sad, she'd tell me stories about her childhood, her struggles." Jack listened intently, captivated by the images her words painted. "She taught me about resilience, about how to embrace the storms and find the silver linings. But then, she was gone, and I forgot those lessons. I tried to be strong, to be perfect, like I thought she wanted." Jack's heart ached for her. "Have you ever told anyone this?" Lily shook her head. "No, I thought if I didn't talk about it, maybe I could pretend it didn't hurt. But it's been there, gnawing away at me silently." "What about the people at the retreat?" he asked gently. "Did they help?" She nodded slowly. "They did. They made me realize that grappling with that pain is part of healing. I shouldn't have to wear a mask anymore." Jack reached out, brushing his fingers against her cheek. "You're brave, you know that? Talking about it here, with me." Lily smiled through her tears. "It's scary, but something feels lighter. Like I'm shedding an old skin." "Good. You deserve to feel that way," he said, his voice firm with conviction. "Grandma used to say, life is about choices, Lily. Sometimes you make the right ones, other times you don't. But what matters is that you learn from them." Jack's heart raced at the realization. "So, part of what you want is to make your own choices now?" "Yes. I've been afraid for so long," she admitted, her voice gaining strength. "But I want to choose my path, my dreams. And I want to include you in that journey." "That's all I've ever wanted," he replied softly, squeezing her hand tighter. "But there's something else," she continued, her expression suddenly serious. "When my grandmother passed, there was a family rift. Some of us turned against each other instead of coming together. It hurt so much, and I was trapped in the middle." Jack frowned, concern shadowing his features. "What do you mean?" "Some family members felt betrayed by each other. I lost connections, too. People I thought would always be there. I had to pick sides. It destroyed the love we shared." He could see the pain etched on her face. "So opening up about her means confronting that too?" "Exactly. I've avoided it, thinking it might protect me. But I didn't realize I was blocking out the healing I needed." Jack's mind raced. Could their journey together help repair that love, those bonds? What if we reached out to those family members? He suggested tentatively. "Maybe it's time to rebuild those bridges?" Lily's eyes widened. "Do you think they'd even want to talk?" "I don't know, but if they're family, isn't it worth a try?" A moment of silent contemplation passed between them. Her eyes sparkled with sudden hope, but uncertainty clung to her words. "What if they reject me? What if it opens more wounds?" Jack met her gaze, unwavering. "Then at least you'll know you tried. We'll face whatever happens together." The weight of his words hung in the air, and Lily took a deep breath, her heart racing. Okay, she said, her voice almost a whisper. Let us reach out. But how? As she considered the next step, Jack felt the enormity of the path ahead. They weren't just exploring her past anymore, they were stepping toward a future that could redefine everything. And as they sat there, the world outside their little bubble seemed to blur, leaving just the echoes of past sorrows and the promise of possible healing. But then a thought hit Jack. What if reconciling with her family wasn't the closure they hoped for? What if it only opened up deeper wounds, revealing fears they had yet to confront? Lily's heart raced as the gravity of what they were about to do settled in. We could start with a message, she suggested, her voice trembling slightly. Something simple. Just to test the waters. Jack nodded in agreement, his thumb brushing the back of her hand. That sounds like a good start. They both sat there, a comfortable silence filling the space as Lily opened her phone. Her hands felt clammy, and she hesitated, scrolling through her contacts. Each name felt like a reminder of the fracture, the silence that hung thick between them and the family memories they once shared. Who do you think we should reach out to first? Jack asked softly, trying to keep her focused. Lily bit her lip, thinking hard. Maybe Aunt Sarah? She was always close to Grandma. She might understand. Jack encouraged her with a nod. Okay. Let us do it together. After a few moments of silence filled with deep breaths and unspoken fears, Lily took another breath and typed a short message. Hi Aunt Sarah, it's Lily. I hope you're doing well. I've been thinking about Grandma a lot and how her passing affected all of us. I'd love to talk sometime. Miss you. She hit send before she could change her mind. A rush of relief washed over her, followed quickly by a wave of anxiety. They both stared at the screen, waiting for the 3 dots that signaled Sarah was typing back. What if she doesn't respond? Lily whispered, her voice barely above a breath. Then we'll try someone else, Jack replied, trying to sound more confident than he felt. You took the first step. That's what matters. Minutes felt like hours as they sat in silence. Jack's mind whirled around possibilities and fears. Would it be like throwing a stone into a pond, creating waves of hurt instead of healing? Just then, Lily's phone buzzed, breaking the agonizing stillness. Jack leaned closer as she opened the message. Her eyebrows raised in surprise. Sarah says she's been thinking about me too. She wants to meet, maybe over coffee this week. Hope flickered bright in her chest, but it came with a twinge of worry. What if it all falls apart when we see each other? Then at least you can express how you feel, right? It's all about keeping that door open, Jack encouraged. You're already on the right path. Lily took a deep breath, mustering the courage she felt building within her. I just wish it didn't have to be so complicated. I want to fix things, but I'm scared. That's completely normal, he replied, his voice filled with warmth. It's a big step. But you're not alone in this. The warm glow of hope mixed with trepidation lingered between them. The looming meeting felt like standing on the edge of a great unknown, a leap into both trepidation and potential healing. Finally, Lily looked into Jack's eyes, her heart full and heavy. What if this opens old wounds that nobody wants to confront? What if it just brings more pain? Jack leaned forward, sincerity etched across his face. Then we confront it together. You don't have to carry it alone anymore. In that moment, they both understood, reconnecting wouldn't just be about re-establishing bonds. There would be obstacles, possibly hurtful conversations that dug up the past. But it was worth it, wasn't it? As they fell into another silence, both lost in thought, uncertainty mingled with the spark of hope. Whatever their next steps were, they would face them side by side. Yet, as the sun began to slip below the horizon, casting shadows on their reckoning, Jack couldn't shake a lingering doubt. Would the family truly be ready to face what lay beneath the surface? Would Lily find the closure she yearned for, or was this just the beginning of a much more challenging journey? Lily stared at her phone, heart thumping like a drum. Aunt Sarah's response was unexpected but sparked a flame of hope. She didn't just want to reconnect, she wanted to heal. But what if that healing meant unearthing resentments that had festered in silence? Are you okay? Jack's voice jolted her from her thoughts. She nodded quickly, forcing a smile. Yeah. Just thinking. About? Aunt Sarah. I always felt like she was a bridge to Grandma, you know? But now I wonder if she'll even want to face everything that happened. Jack squeezed her hand reassuringly. You won't know until you meet. Just take it one step at a time. You're trying to reopen a chapter that may have been closed too quickly. You make it sound easy. I know it's not. Jack shifted closer, lowering his voice. But you can't carry this weight alone. Silence enveloped them again, the kind that felt heavy yet comforting. Lily watched the sun setting, casting golden hues all around. It reminded her of afternoons spent at Grandma's house baking cookies, laughter bouncing off the walls. Those were the times they should have experienced together as a family. What if the memories aren't what I want them to be? Lily whispered, her thoughts spilling out. What if they're just shadows of what I hoped for? Then maybe it's time to create new memories, Jack suggested. Ones that reflect who you are now. Lily took a deep breath. Jack was right. Just dwelling on past hurts wouldn't change anything. She needed to confront her fears, to embrace the possibility of reconnecting. Okay, she said finally, determination creeping into her voice. I'll meet her. Jack smiled, admiration lighting up his face. That's the spirit. Just be honest. If it starts feeling overwhelming, you can always take a break. I never thought I'd actually try to reach out, she admitted, a mixture of pride and terror swirling within her. Neither did I, he said softly, glancing at their clasped hands. But here we are. Just then, Lily's phone buzzed again. Her heart leaped as she read the new message. It was Aunt Sarah. Can we meet at Java House? The text read. I'll bring your favorite pastries. Lily's lips curled into a smile, a bittersweet happiness swelling inside her. She remembers, she murmured. See? That's a good sign, Jack said, his enthusiasm contagious. But what if she doesn't want to talk about Grandma? What if she just wants to sweep everything under the rug? Then you can still share how you feel. It's your time to set the pace. His words floated around her like a warm embrace. For the first time in a long while, she felt hopeful. But as excitement flowed through her, she became aware of the mounting anxiety in her chest. Should I ask about past family gatherings? Or just focus on the present? She pondered aloud. Jack held her gaze, the intensity of his eyes steady. The past will naturally come up if you both start reminiscing. Just be prepared for any topic. It's just coffee. You can do this. With a nod, Lily took a moment to catch her breath. Yet a gnawing question tugged at her. Would Sarah share her feelings too? Would they truly heal, or would things become painfully uncomfortable? The uncertainty seemed weighted by remnants of guilt and unspoken pain. Jack broke her thoughts, his voice gentle. No matter what, I'm here for you. Lily smiled, reassured by his presence. Thank you. In the back of her mind, she dodged conflicting emotions, joy clashing with fear. Yet she recognized this was a monumental step, one that had far-reaching implications not only for her but for the family she had once lost. As their time together drew to a close, Jack stood, concern settling back into his features. You good for the week? I mean, with everything coming up? I think so, she replied. But what? He prompted, sensing there was more. What if I find out more than I bargained for? Her question hung thick in the air, a precursor to the impending storm, one that could either wash away the pain or stir up the debris of long-buried truths, stronger than she ever anticipated. As they stood in the dying light, the horizon Exuding colors of change, they both knew that answers were just around the corner, but so were unknowns. The week felt both exhilarating and excruciating. For every moment of hope about her meeting with Aunt Sarah, Lily felt the heaviness of dread creeping in. Jack was by her side the whole time, his unwavering support a balm to her anxious heart. Finally, the day arrived. Lily stared at herself in the mirror, adjusting her clothes one too many times. She practiced smiling, but the reflection staring back didn't look as confident as she wanted. With deep breaths, she shoved her doubts aside, reminding herself who she was becoming. This trip, this reconnection, could bring everything out into the open. "Are you ready?" Jack asked, standing just behind her with genuine concern etched on his face. "I think so." "Just a little nervous," she admitted, the weight of her own honesty feeling powerful. He stepped closer, placing a comforting hand on her shoulder. "Remember, it's a conversation. Nothing more, nothing less. Just be you. You've come so far." She nodded, her heart racing. "You'll be waiting for me, right?" "Always." As she stepped into Java House, the familiar aroma of coffee washed over her like a warm hug. It felt like a cozy haven, yet her feet felt glued to the ground as she spotted Aunt Sarah at a small table by the window. Lily took a deep breath and willed her feet to move, each step feeling heavier until finally, she stood before her aunt. "Hi, Aunt Sarah." Lily's words caught in her throat for a moment as Sarah's warm smile met hers. "Lily. It's so good to see you." The tightness in Lily's chest eased slightly as Aunt Sarah stood to embrace her. They sat down, moments of silence bubbling between them, unsure of where to begin. Lily felt all her worries coiling up inside her. What if Sarah wasn't ready to unpack the past? "I've been thinking a lot about Grandma lately," Sarah began, her voice thick with nostalgia. "Me too," Lily replied, her heart swelling. "I miss her so much." As they talked about Grandma's stories and favorite recipes, a magical warmth enveloped their conversation. The memories sparked laughter, but as Jack's words echoed in Lily's mind, the urge to dig deeper nudged at her. "Sarah, can we talk about something a bit more complicated?" Her aunt's eyes darkened slightly, but she nodded. "Of course. What's on your mind?" "About how her passing changed our family." Lily spoke carefully, feeling the weight of every word. "It tore us apart. I was caught in between and felt so alone." Tears formed in Sarah's eyes. "I know how you feel. I wanted to reach out, but I too was scared. We lost something special. I had no idea you felt that way. It hurt so much. I didn't know how to approach any of you. I thought maybe if I kept silent, it would fix itself." They locked eyes, a fragile understanding building within the space between them. "I didn't want to lose you, Lily," Sarah confessed. "I always cared for you, but I didn't know what to say after she was gone." With every moment that passed, Lily realized the truth. They were mending a bond that had been lost, but only if they were willing to confront their pain together. "I think we can try," Lily said softly. "To rebuild. To share our hurts." Aunt Sarah wiped her tears, her voice full of hope. "I'd like that, dear. I miss you. I want us to heal." Their conversation flowed, gradually unraveling the tight knots of honesty, laughter, sorrow, and understanding. With every story shared, old wounds became scars, pieces of the past they could navigate together. Meanwhile, Jack sat just outside, his heart soaring each time he heard laughter erupt from Lily and Sarah's table. They were doing it, they were breaking down the walls. It filled him with pride and joy to see Lily opening up and healing. When her meeting concluded, Lily stepped back outside to find Jack waiting, his expression instantly brightening. "How did it go?" She grinned, light radiating from her eyes. "Better than I expected. We're going to try to rebuild our relationship. She understands more than I thought." "Wow, that's amazing." Jack enveloped her in a warm hug, feeling as though a weight lifted off both their shoulders. You did. It. Lily laughed, her heart dancing. I did. And it was hard, but the payoff just feels so worth it. I can't even explain. As they walked back, she felt lighter, as though healing had begun to breathe new life into her spirit. Babe, I'm so proud of you. You didn't shy away from your truth, you faced it head-on, Jack said earnestly. Thank you for being there for me through every nasty bit of it, she replied. The sun began setting, casting warm golden colors across the sky. With each step forward, she realized that this was just the beginning. Dad, she said, looking up at him with determination, I want to keep sharing. There's still so much more to talk about. He nodded, a brilliant smile on his face. I'm here for every moment, Lioness. Let's tackle the messy stuff together. Hand in hand, they moved forward. In their hearts, they both knew that with every secret revealed and every connection rebuilt, they were creating something indescribably beautiful, a deep, unshakable bond that embraced the past and welcomed the future. The road ahead still had uncertainties, but they were ready to face whatever twists and turns might come their way, hand in hand, no secrets left buried, just love and support binding them strongly together. And with that, connected in a way they had never been before, they stepped boldly into the next chapter of their lives together. This story resonated with you, don't wait another second. You need to subscribe now to our channel. Hit that bell for all notifications so you won't miss out on our exclusive stories. Leave a like right now to help us feed the algorithm, and comment below with your thoughts and feelings about this transformative journey. Share this video instantly with at least 5 friends who need to hear this powerful message about connection and healing. This is the moment to show your support.